Erik Menyuk.
Very good.
An attorney from Newman, Aaronson and Vanaman, which is the largest and longest established law firm in California, specializing in representing children and adults with disabilities. And you have an interactive seminar coming up on February 8th.
February 8th, 2014.
Okay.
At the Sportsman's Lodge, yeah.
In California, at the Sportsman's Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us what this seminar is about, Erik.
Well, one of the great joys about working at Newman, Aaronson, Vanaman is being the largest firm out there. You have a lot of attorneys.
Right.
So you have a lot of attorneys who are going to mediations, going to due process, going to IEPs. We have advocates who work with our firm. And they're all coming back with stories, because really, I mean, if I was to sum up special education law in a nutshell, it's about the stories. It's about the individuals. And so what we decided to do is put together a seminar. It's going to be broken up into 3 parts. The first part is really going to have 10 of us attorneys on stage, and we're all going to go through the process that you go through with school districts, from nuts to bolts, from A to Z, with how you approach the district, how you communicate with the district, how you go handle yourself in an IEP meeting, all of those steps, all the way up through how you fight the school district. But it's really going to be a perspective based on what we see that it's happening now, today, in the trenches. Okay. And that's important. I mean, because although, as we know, I mean, the law hasn't changed, but in this day and age, when the dollars are the dollars, and I've heard school district people say to parents, which always infuriates me, my job is to be the guardian of the district funds. That's my job. And I'm thinking, well, I thought your job was to educate people. But that aside, there is, sort of different tactics that you have to take in this day and age to really document, going through the process, what you need to do. The second part of the seminar, we're going to have breakout sessions. I'm going to handle the effective advocacy because that's what I do, hopefully effectively. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be joined by a couple other attorneys, Alexis Casillas, a very young attorney with our firm who's terrific, just amazing attorney, and Brian Wynn, who I've done cases with. Mm-hmm. We're also going to be inviting in Judy Marks, Harvey Lappin, and Connie Lappin, and these people are instrumental in getting the legislature in California to pass the self-determination law, which is basically saying for regional center, now you have control over your service dollars. Mm-hmm. And they're going to talk about, a little bit about the history, about what went into that, but most of all, again, this is a nuts and bolts seminar. This is going to be how you now handle this aspect of getting services from regional centers. And then finally, we're also going to deal with, which we sort of have a group of people that specialized in this, in transitions. Because, although transitions in the IEP world happen, at high school and what's going to happen beyond high school, in reality, transitions happens all along. And as you know, dealing with kids with autism, what is one of the most difficult things for these kids to deal with? Transitions. And so it becomes almost crucial as you go through the process to understand that. And then we've invited a law professor from Ohio State University, Ruth Coker. And what I really liked about Professor Coker, when I read her book, she wrote this book, Disabled Education. And it's a survey of all the administrative law decisions across the country, and kind of goes through how the IDEA, the law under which we practice for special education, has been effective in certain areas, not effective in other areas, and why, from our perspective, certainly from the parents' bar perspective, why these cases seem so biased against parents. And Professor Coker is actually the parent of a disabled child. She has a child with autism, and has written several books on these issues.
So her work is out there to be read.
Absolutely.
Tell us how people can learn about this. Where can they register?
At our website, www.navlaw.net. We have a big banner, hopefully, there that will say register for. There it is. Okay, there you go. There's a big banner on the website that says, register here. And, one of the things that for me, we're going to have advocates there, we're going to have attorneys there. It's really important that this seminar reach the parents.
Right.
So one of the things that I would like to do is offer for viewers of this show is free admission.
Okay. Wow.
That's amazing.
I would really like to do that.
Because it's a $100 admission.
It was what we said, and I said, this is an impetus from Valerie, but from everyone at the firm, they were saying, what, we need to get the word out there.
Right.
And so we were getting the word out there, we were getting attendance, but from, a certain population.
Sure.
We really want a diverse population, and people really need this information. Right. So for people who are watching this, If they go on and they'll see a code and it says enter promotion code or whatever, and I believe it is, now I'm going to be wrong, I have to call in, but NAV SHIP, NAV, all caps, capital SHIP,
Okay.
NAV SHIP.